Hi, my name is Devin, and today I'll be talking about the Optimus model GS-6000 and GS-6000R, the new gaming cases by Sentey. After viewing this video, if you have any more questions, feel free to go ahead to the website at www.sentey.com. All right, and we're going to take a look at the box and all the documentation that it comes with. We see that it's ready for SSD drives, which means that it's able to use the new 2.5-inch SSD drives. Now the Optimus comes in two models. It comes in GS-6000, which is the all-black version, and the GS-6000R, which is black with red detailing. Now down here below, we see some of the product specifications. It tells you can use it with ATX and micro ATX motherboards. We've got some of the expansion capability, 3 5.25-inch drive bays. We've got 4 3.5-inch hard drive bays and 7 PCI slots. Down here it lists some of the external ports that come on the top of the case and a little bit of the details of the cooling system. Now moving on to the other side of the box, we've got yet some more product features. We've got the case dimensions, some pictures and more details of the cooling system, the external ports, the expansion slots, and down here a list of product features. Okay, I'm going to open up the box now. And the first thing we see here is the user's manual and a 1-year guarantee that it comes with. And we've got the case out of the box now, and we see that it comes with 2 pieces of styrofoam and a plastic cover to keep it all scratch and dent free. And it's good protection for the case. Now this is the GS-6000, the all-black version, and it's got dimensions of 7.5 inches wide, about 18.25 inches high, and a little bit over 19 inches deep. The Optimus has a great design in piano black finish. Now here we have the on-off switch with its indicator light, and over here the reset button, and below the hard drive activity light. Moving on down, we have a multi-card reader for the SD MMC cards. We've got 2 USB ports, the headphone and microphone jacks, and note that this new edition of the case has support for HD audio and AC97. And over here we have the fan speed controller, which is a little dial here that's going to regulate the speed of the fan. Down below here we've got 3 5.25 external bays for your optical drives, and the top one of these covers opens and closes. This is for your optical drive. You can eject it and the whole thing opens and closes automatically. And this allows you to keep the nice looks of the case and still have the functionality. And down here below, we've got some mesh ventilation, and this is for the front cooler fan. And later you're going to see inside that it comes with a cooler fan. Let's remove the front panel and get a look at the anti-dust system. Now the Optimus comes with a complete anti-dust system consisting of mesh paneling and removable foam filters. You see the foam filters here behind the optical drive bays, and also down here in front of the cooling system. Now, as I said, these foam filters are removable. You can go ahead, take them out, you wash them off, clean them off, and then you can put them back in. The top panel of the Optimus has an extreme design with mesh paneling and ventilation slots. There's foam filtering behind the upper cooling fan, and this cooling fan comes with a blue LED, so you'll be able to see blue light shining through the top panel. Moving on to the back of the case. We see up top the ventilation for the back cooling fan, the 120mm cooling fan. Below that, we've got 2 grommets for water cooling tubes in case you want to use a water cooling system with this. Then we've got 7 PCI expansion slots, and each of these expansion slots has got a locking mechanism that's tool-free, so you can install and remove your PCI cards without using any tools. And down here at the bottom, you've got the mounting hole for the power supply unit. Finally, up here at the top, we have access for the motherboard mounting, and this is where all the motherboard IOs are going to go. Now let's see the bottom of this case. The first thing we note is that it has an external removable filter. You can remove this filter, take it off and clean it. Then down here we see that it's got a venting port for the power supply unit. Then there's room for another 120 millimeter cooling fan if you want to install that. And note that on this side it's got a 3rd ventilation port right below the 3.5-inch hard drive base. And the last thing to note about the bottom of the case are these 4 rubber mounting feet. And these feet are made of rubber, so they're going to provide some vibration isolation, as well as elevate the case off the floor, and this is going to allow more air circulation underneath the case. And let's finish off the outside of the case by taking a look at the 2 side panels. Now, both of the side panels are removed by taking out a pair of thumb screws. These thumb screws, of course, don't need any screwdrivers to remove. Now note that the side panel has a very large ventilation port, and this is for the graphics card. And when I take off the side panel, and here on the back side of the side panel, we see the 180 millimeter cooling fan for the graphics card. And behind the cooling fan, it's part of the anti-dust protection system that the Optimus has. We've got a removable foam filter, and this foam filter is accessed by these 2 screws, and that'll allow you to take off the mesh grille on the outside of the side panel. You can take out the filter, clean it, put it back, and put back the mesh with just those 2 thumb screws. Note that the side panel is made out of 0.7 millimeter SECC steel. It's very rigid, I can't even bend it. And to top it off, it's got reinforcements along the side, so there's no vibrations at all with this side panel. And now we're going to take a look at the cooling system and see just why the Optimus is part of the Extreme division. We've already seen that the side panel comes with this 180 millimeter cooling fan, which is going to bring in cool air from the outside right over the top of the graphics processor. Then moving on to the inside of the case, up front we've got a 120 millimeter cooling fan with blue LED. That's going to bring in cool air right over your 3.5-inch hard drive bay. At the back we've got the exhaust fan. This is another 120 millimeter fan that's going to suck all the hot air out of the case. And finally, up top, we've got another blue LED fan. This is a 140 millimeter fan, and this is going to blow out the hot air of the top. It comes out from the CPU area. And continuing inside the Optimus case, it's included with an accessory bag. And one of the things included is this small piece of hardware. It's a little clip that allows you to lock the side panel. So you can go ahead, you insert this clip, and when you put the side panel on and close it with the thumb screw, having this clip on the outside allows you to place a padlock on the outside, and that way you can't remove the side panel without removing the padlock. It's a good security measure for you. And also in the goodie bag, it's a motherboard speaker, comes with a few zip ties, an extra PCI slot cover, brass risers, motherboard screws, and some plastic risers also. And there's actually plenty of mounting hardware in there. And moving on, Inside the case, we've got all the front panel wiring and connectors. We've got hard drive activity light, reset switch, light indicator, the power button, Molex switches for the power for the fans. We've got the memory card reader connection, a USB connection, HD audio. This new gaming case was also designed with an anti-vibration system, and all the edges are nice and rounded so you don't get any unwanted cuts or scratches. Now for the anti-vibration, we see back here where the power supply is going to be mounted. The entire mounting surface is covered with rubber so you don't get any vibration there. And also here on the bottom there are two rubber pads or mounting feet also for the power supply unit. So none of that power supply vibration is going to come onto the case. And another important feature of the Optimus gaming case is the complete tool-free system. Starting here, we've got the three 5¼ inch optical bays, and here you can just go ahead and remove these clips, install your optical bay, put the clip back on, lock it down, all without any extra tools. Down here, we have our hard drive bays. You've got room for 4 hard drives. These trays slide right out. Now note that these have mounting holes for a 60mm slim fan to cool down your hard drives if you want to install that. And all the mounting holes are included for both the 3½ inch and 2½ inch drives, or SSD drives. And you can also install a 60mm cooling fan down here if you want, and this allows you to take advantage of the vent down at the bottom of the case. And last but not least, for the tool-free system, we've got the PCI expansion slots. We've got room for 7 cards, and again, these are mounted with a tool-free clip. Just go ahead and loosen that, install your PCI card, and then lock it back down. And we're going to take a look at the other side of the cabinet now. Now this side panel is also going to be removed by just 2 thumb screws back here. And so let's go ahead and remove this panel. Okay. And when I take that off, back here on this side, we see we've got slots here for cable management. This allows you to keep, if you want, you can run all the cabling on the back side of this mounting plate, and that'll keep the chassis free for air circulation and keep everything nice and neat inside. And note here, another special feature is this cutout right below the CPU, and this is going to allow you to install a CPU cooling system after you've already installed your motherboard if you want to. Okay, now we've got the Optimus system completely armed. See, we've got a golden steel power supply, a double cooler for the motherboard, your video card, got your hard drive down here, and your optical drives up here. Go take a look at the other side. And here we can see some of the features for the cable management behind this motherboard tray. And also the motherboard cutout directly under the CPU, so you can add some extra cooling if you want. And well, that's all we have today. And if you need more information, go ahead and go to the website at www.sentey.com. Again, I'm Devin, and it's been a pleasure talking to you about the Optimus GS-6000 and GS-6000R today.